Welcome to Networking Star. This is the podcast hosted by me, Jeffery Boyle. And here we explore the journeys and the successes of some of the most interesting and really best thought leaders of entrepreneurs that we can find on the internet. And today I am joined by Robyn Graham. Now, Robyn has a lot of things that she does. Let's make sure, Robyn, that I get them right. She's a passionate entrepreneur that helps people with their God-given talents. She's an author, she's a podcaster, and she proudly told me that she's a mom as well. So thanks for joining us, Robyn.
Thank you for having me, Jeff. I'm really honored to be here.
Well, that is a lot of different things that you do. And I thought it was really interesting because you had sent us over the information as we connected on Instagram. The one that really struck out, of course, is mom. My wife and I have been married for 25 years and we have 5 kids. But that's always impressive that you can do that many things as a mother. So how do you coach people that they're balancing so much in their personal life the way that you are and still be such a high achiever?
Well, I focus on simplicity, ease, and grace. And part of that is, when you have complete clarity around what your purpose is and who your soulmate client is, it makes it a lot easier to create your messaging and reach those people that you're meant to serve, that you're meant to work with, that only you can help them the way you can help them, right? And then instead of spending hours and hours and hours creating content for platforms and, like social media, where you have to stress out about the likes, the followers, what if I get hacked? What if it goes down? All of those things. I focus on the simplicity of search engine optimization and really building from the platforms that you own, using search engine optimization on your website, blogging, for example, using Pinterest marketing and email marketing to really build those relationships with your clients. So it saves you in the end a lot of time.
You'd mentioned that you do a lot of your business on LinkedIn. So you just mentioned Pinterest right there. So obviously it's a different group of people from Pinterest to LinkedIn. And there's so many choices now, so many crazy choices. And if you want to have a life, of course, it's you talk about specialization. Explain that just a little bit and maybe the difference in how you use Pinterest compared to LinkedIn.
This is a great question, and I have a feeling I'm going to blow your mind a little bit. So
I'm ready for my mind to be blown. Come on.
You ready?
Yeah.
So everybody looks at Pinterest as this DIY site or more of a social media type site. It absolutely is not. It is a search engine. So people can find just about anything they want on Pinterest, just like they can on Google. And the most interesting thing is for LinkedIn, people think of it's kind of like a site for more of the CEO type and kind of a social media site for executives. That's not it at all. It's actually search engine optimization as well. When you Google someone's name, like if you have a well-built LinkedIn profile, if I go to search your name on Google, chances are your LinkedIn profile is going to come up as one of the top search results for your name. So
you're absolutely right. In fact, as you start new businesses, it will often come up before the name of the new business. And so your goal is, can you get above LinkedIn? But it's still good because it sends it to your sites.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's important to look at the platforms that are going to drive traffic to your website and really help you show up as an authority in your space. And that's what, when people do a search on Pinterest, say for a business coach or for branding or for marketing, if those are some of the terms, the keywords that you're using, you're going to show up. And then you can drive them to your blog posts that really demonstrate that you're an authority in your space. And it helps build trust. The know, love, and trust factor is what is absolutely necessary to build a business or to attract clients. And so the more you build trust, the more likely you are to convert people, because obviously trust determines buying practices, as you know.
Well, you had talked about just a second ago, the platforms that you own. A lot of times people think that they own their followers on Instagram or Facebook, but you can be shut off at any time. We even talked about that before we started to record. My YouTube channel that we originally did this on, we had millions and millions of views, and we were shut off really without notice for a video that had nothing to do with their business. It was a highlight reel from the Olympics that was very inspirational, and they just shut it off. So explain, I think a lot of people don't understand that. Explain what you mean by the platforms that you own, that you encourage them to build up.
Yeah. So when you think about, like you said, social media, I know so many people who had their accounts hacked, even with two-factor authentication, and they lost 15 to 100,000 followers. So they no longer have those connections, right? They have to start over. But when you use your website as your foundation, that becomes the home, the core of your business, where anyone could find you at any point in time. And if you have search engine optimization, you can reach people all over the globe at any point in time. And you're not dependent on an algorithm that's only going to show 2% of your followers your content.
Yeah.
So when you have a search engine SEO strategy, I should say, you have more weight, more power to your website. But not only that, when you are growing your business and you grow an email list and you have a constant contact point with your soulmate clients who are in your audience, in your community, the sky is the limit, right? Nobody's going to shut off your email list. Sure, the internet could go down, but that doesn't mean that tomorrow you can't pick right back up where you left off when the internet went down, so to speak. The same thing goes with LinkedIn and Pinterest. Yes, they have algorithms, but the whole point of them is to drive traffic to your website. So the more traffic you drive to your website, and you can do that on social media, but the things that you truly, truly own are going to be your website and your email list.
So a lot of times I think it's for new entrepreneurs and even some experienced entrepreneurs, the idea of SEO seems so daunting. It's just new, and it's like, you kidding me? I can, you think of, for example, even the meta companies, Instagram and Facebook, understanding for a lot of people the difference between a story and a reel, and you name it, all these different things, and then you switch platforms. It can be overwhelming. But SEO, for some reason, for this small or new business person, can seem really overwhelming. How do you help people understand the basics of how you do that?
Well, so Jeff, it all starts with an overarching brand marketing strategy. And the core of that is going to be your personal brand and having complete clarity around yourself, how to differentiate yourself, how to create that messaging that actually includes and incorporates your keywords and key phrases. And those become something that is a basis. They're not going to change unless you completely pivot and transform your business. So every time you use those keywords and key phrases, you're going to be able to draw people into your website. When we talk
Well,
about, oh, go
sorry, go
ahead.
ahead. So with that, when you say, for example, how is it that on the websites that you're doing this? Because that's a really key important part. When you're telling them to set up a blog, are you suggesting that they host the site themselves, or that they can just use some of these other blogging platforms that have been around forever?
Well, if you are a small business owner and you are an entrepreneur and you have a goal of building your own business, you should have it for yourself. Now, some people will tell you, oh, if you're just starting out, all you need is a Facebook page. I don't agree with that at all, because Facebook could disappear tomorrow. You could lose all those followers tomorrow. But if you have a website and you can create a one-page website very inexpensively, but if you have a blog on your website, you own that content. That content is copywritten, it is yours, and people will see you as an authority. When you use search engine optimization and drive that traffic, you're going to rank on Google faster. We know that it's something like 92% of people buy from the top ranked people on Google. They don't go past the first page of Google rankings. So if your goal is to grow a business, then you want to create content that's going to bring people to your site so that Google will see you as an authority or an expert. So when you're blogging, it's not just about writing information down. It's about having a strategy and making sure that you've got headers and subheaders, keywords, key phrases, and then that you're keeping people on your site for a longer period of time. So to do that, you're going to link other blog posts, other related content that people are then going to click on, so that you're almost creating like a rabbit hole where they're just going to keep going to learn more and more and more from you. Now, is that to say you're giving away everything for free? No, absolutely not. Because the reality is we can give a lot away. We can provide a lot of value. And that's exactly what you're doing when you have a strategy on your website to keep people there to learn from you for a longer period of time. But chances are they're not going to go and implement this all on their own. So if you're a business coach or you're a social media strategist or you're creating content from AI, people aren't going to be able to do that on their own. They're still going to need your expertise.
What's interesting is that this is it's it's almost laughable to say that this is old school information, but the reality is all of the top social media people are doing exactly what you're saying. They're using the social media to funnel them to what they really own. And Facebook, though it's going to be around forever, you're much more likely to be hacked or shut down for who knows what. We've seen these social media guys change their minds on what's acceptable and what's not very quickly anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you've been around at all, your social media has had some type of interruption to it. But it's absolutely on track. I agree with what you're saying, and that if you don't do it, you're missing a key component that some of the top people all across the internet are doing. So talk a little bit about, I always love to talk to mothers that are doing extraordinarily well with their businesses. How do you balance all of this? Because it sounds to me that you've got a wonderful list of clients, that you're active out there, you're doing the writing, you're helping people do all of these different things on their sites and also their social media. How do you make sure that you have a semblance of a personal life and balance when you're doing all of these, especially when you're starting off?
So, for one, it takes discipline. And I have to get up early in the morning and do my personal things, my exercise, my devotions. I want to take care of myself and be healthy so that I can provide for my family and provide for my clients. So, all of those things are a lot of times when people are still asleep in my house. The kids sleep in. Now it's summer, so everybody's home. They all have jobs. So there's a lot more, coming and going per se. But we always had this, I guess, mission priority to have family dinners together. So I stop my workday at 5 o'clock. Sometimes it may go over. I may have to come into my office in the evening, but I try really hard to be present. So that means I have to be very diligent with my time, very disciplined with my time. And it really isn't that hard because if you sit down to focus and you set the intention to, I'm going to get this accomplished today, and you focus, you can accomplish that so that you do have that time later to spend with your family. But I don't want to miss a sports game. I don't want to miss an activity or a chorus concert or anything. I want to be there. I want to be present. I feel like God gave me these incredible beings to mother and parent. And so I want to be there. I want to be hands-on. And it's just a matter of prioritizing where I spend my time, when I spend my time, and who I spend my time with.
You sound like you have really set patterns, and explain a little bit about how that predictability helps you stay focused with all of these different things that you're doing.
Okay, so predictability can obviously be very variable, right? Like every single day, it's funny, I'll set out to have my day look like XYZ, and then I have to take the dog to the vet, or a kid is sick, or I've got to, carpool unexpectedly, whatever. But it's a matter of being able to shift whenever something like that happens and refocus my energy as soon as I get back to where I wanted to be. So, if something comes up in the course of a day, which inevitably it does, it's just a matter of taking a deep breath and remembering that, okay, this is what I have on my plate for today. And if this is what I need to accomplish, that's where my focus is going to be, and everything else is going to have to wait. So sometimes my to-do list just has to shift based on those priorities.
So it's habits and it's patterns with flexibility, obviously built into it. A plan's great till you get punched in the nose, and then you've got to adjust.
Yeah.
But so as you're going about this, and you've got all these different clients, what is it that you see the difference between the ones who really pick up what you're doing and the people who struggle to be able to get the results? Sorry about that. The results that you're trying to get with your business.
The biggest difference is whether or not they are willing and motivated to take action. I can teach them anything, but if they aren't ready to, number one, invest in themselves and their business, number two, willing and ready to take action, they aren't going to achieve the results that they want. It all starts with action.
And so with the action, and so you said they're ready to invest. And invest, of course, is multiple things. It's time, attention, and money. And so where do you see that most people fall short in that investment part of it?
A lot of people are afraid to invest financially, and they find it intimidating. Am I going to get my ROI? Here's the thing. In order to get results, you have to have a positive mindset, you have to have strategy, and you have to have action. A lot of people can have one or the other, or maybe two, but if you don't have all three, you're not going to get the results you want. And that's where I believe having a coach and having someone to hold you accountable really comes into play. And if you're not willing to invest actually three, time, energy, and money in growing, you're going to stay stuck. You're going to stay stagnant. And a lot of times it's the mindset that holds you back. So that money mindset, if you're not willing to invest in yourself, where's the disconnect there? Is it that someone is holding you back from spending money? Is it you holding yourself back because you're afraid you're not going to get the ROI? Or is it just simple fear of the entire process or a lack of trust of other people? So there's a lot of factors that can play into that. But at the end of the day, we have to be willing to invest in our time, we have to be willing to invest time, money, and energy into getting the results we want.
Yeah, it is. It is interesting. You mentioned the fear part of it. And I think new entrepreneurs, and even a lot of established entrepreneurs that aren't getting the results they want, it is fear of something. And what do you talked about broadly, but what would you say in addition to the fear, or perhaps just fear itself? What is the number one thing that holds people back from be able to have the success in their home and to have success in their business that you've helped coach?
I would say it's a fear of failure. Mm-hmm. And when that's very broad in and of itself. But when you're looking at especially a mom or a dad or somebody who's trying to not only establish themselves as an expert and have significant earning potential, but they also want to inspire their kids, and they want their kids, their wives, their spouse, whoever, to see them as something great, a positive influence. And so that fear of failure could be, what if I let them down? What if I waste my money? What if I don't succeed? What if I let a client down? And then you have the lack of belief in, what if I'm really not as good as I think I am? What if this really isn't what God wants me to do? What if I can't help this person the way I think I can help this person? What if they don't get the results they want? But you have to take ownership at some point in time that, okay, I can do whatever I've been called to do, because God always equips whoever he calls. But the reality is, a lot of that ownership goes to the client, right? We're not in control of their results. We can only give them what our expertise allows us to give them.
Well, there's enough different things that you've mentioned that we talk about. We could unpack them forever. But please tell everybody where to find you, and how it is to be able to set up a time with you to go through some of this amazing expertise that you've developed over the years.
Sure, absolutely. So the best way to find me is my website, therobyngraham.com, and it's Robyn with a Y. And you can access anything you want in terms of connecting with me there. There's a resource page. I am big on avoiding social media, especially when you're trying to build the foundation for your business and focusing on search engine optimization. So there's a free resource guide there, an ebook on 10 strategies to grow your business without using social media. So again, everybody can connect with me on my website, therobyngraham.com, or email me at robyn@therobyngraham.com.
You sound like you've said that before. That's awesome. I'm super grateful to have you on here. And I love the God-given purpose approach that you're taking with it. And that's one of the first things in the media kit that you sent over, is helping entrepreneurs achieve their God-given purpose. Every one of us have these amazing talents, and it's just a shame to be able to hide those, or to be able to be so fearful to not take advantage of them. Robyn, thank you so much, and I look forward to talking to you again soon.
Thank you, Jeff. It was an honor to be here with you. Thank you.